Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. And thank you, Zafar Saab, for inviting me here today. There are a few things which almost every one of you who have spoken before me may have said, but I need to put a few things on record before I come to my comments. I believe Kashmiris under the Indian occupation are facing one of the most brutal oppression in the world, with the world's renowned human rights organizations crying out loud for international intervention. According to the Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the United Nations Security Council, United Nations Council for Human Rights, and the UN rapporteurs, the Indian forces are reported to be involved in illegal detentions, extrajudicial and custodial killings, torture, and rape. Tens of thousands of people, including prominent political leaders, journalists, members of civil society, women and children, are detained in prisons in different parts of India without legal access. Curfews, cordon and search operations, arrests, physical harm, and destruction of properties by the military has become norm. All of this is happening with a complete impunity under the Armed Forces Special Power Act. As if this was not enough, on the 5th of August 2019, the Indian government put the state of Jammu and Kashmir under a military siege, imposing a lockdown with curfew, blocking the internet access and communication lines, while enforcing these strict measures. India withdrew Article 370 and 35A of the Indian Constitution that gave a degree of autonomy to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. These articles were fundamentally important in order to preserve Kashmiri culture and heritage. This change is seen as a move to change the demography of the state. This action is against international law, the UN resolutions, and the Geneva Convention. I stand in solidarity with the people of Kashmir on this and support their legitimate right of self-determination. I urge the democratic world, particularly the British government, to, number one, use their influence to bring an immediate end to the human rights violations in Kashmir. Number two, support the United Nations Council for Human Rights, get access to Kashmir, to investigate the reports of human rights violations and bring the perpetrators to justice, as has happened in the case of massacres in Bosnia during 1990s. Number three, I also urge the world powers to use their influence to bring India and Pakistan to a negotiating table to find a solution in the light of UN resolutions to the long-standing international dispute of Kashmir that is acceptable to India, Pakistan, and the people of Kashmir to bring peace and stability in that region. As this situation cannot continue forever, while strong armies of two nuclear powers, India and Pakistan, are standing eye to eye, and any mishap would turn into an all-out war between these two countries. Consequences of such a war could be devastating, not only for the region, but for the rest of the world. I urge the world to take action before that happens.